Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, you're not going to be seeing my face at all. I will pause for you to applaud and cheer. Today we're going to be doing an organize with me video where I'm going to organize my decently sized pantry. This is our pantry, this little cabinet space right here. And it's not a huge walk-in pantry like I see a lot of the videos online organizing, but it is a really decent sized pantry. You guys can see how deep it is. And right now it is just a cluster. We moved into this house a little over 6 months ago, and the home that we moved from didn't have a pantry at all. So we were so excited to have a designated space for a pantry. And it's just being overrun, to be quite honest. I don't have any organization to it. I tried to clean it up and clean it out as best as possible. You guys can see I have to store some of my smaller appliances in there as well. So today we're just going to be going through and organizing it so that it's so much more convenient to use. We are so thankful to have this pantry, and I'm sure some of you have a pantry similar sized or maybe even smaller and are looking for organizing tips. So if that's the case, or if you just want to watch me do this today and get some organizing ideas in general, be sure to stick around to watch the rest of the video. These are the organizer pieces that I purchased. All of them are from Target. I tried to visit our dollar spot to see if they were going to have some similar organizing items, and I struck out completely. They didn't have a single piece besides like Tupperware, and that's really not what I was hoping to go for. So if you guys are looking for maybe a more inexpensive version of organizer pieces rather than the Container Store, I definitely would recommend checking out Target. I didn't really have an idea of what I'm going to be doing, so I picked up just a ton of different sized bins. You can see there's 3 different sizes here, and then a longer width, but 3 different sizes again here. I also picked up some actual storage containers, like to keep different things like beans or lentils, things I wanted to be out in the open. So different sized containers of those. And then I also picked up 2 different Lazy Susan storage things. I have a smaller Lazy Susan that I also got from Target organizing my spices right now, and I love it. So I'm going to hopefully use these for some larger items, but in a similar manner. If you guys are new to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. This is going to be the first part of a series of organization where I'm going to be organizing different parts of my home. So you'll definitely want to stick around and subscribe so you guys can catch all of those videos. Now, let's get into the organizing. That is going to be it. I have emptied everything out of the pantry, thrown away the stuff that's old and expired. There were bags of stuff that weren't properly put away, and so they were old and stale. So I got rid of everything that's not going to be consumed at some point and reorganized the entire pantry. And I'm just going to go through it with you guys so you can see more in detail what I decided to do and why. This top shelf is actually the easiest shelf for me to access. So I put a lot of the baking goods and organizational things up in this area. It looks pretty crowded, but I have a lot of items that I'm going to be cooking with or using here soon, and I decided to put them up here as well just because they're so much easier to access there, and I'll be able to see them and remind myself what I was going to cook. So here's the Lazy Susan that I was talking to you guys about earlier that I put my spices in. This thing is awesome. They have different sizes. This is the larger size with the shorter, squattier base, and it's perfect for your taller or even your shorter spices. Then behind that, I have the two other Lazy Susans, and I really like these because they allow for me to put in organization but have easy access even though things are way back in the back of the shelf. So I can easily access whatever I need to back there. And then I did put things like vinegar and like a syrup that we're not gonna use as often in the very back, just so that I can utilize that space without having to worry about not being able to see it. This second Lazy Susan that's a bit taller is right there, and that has things again that I'm probably not going to be using as often, but are still easy enough to get to. I chose to use this bigger bin for all of my baking goods, which I don't use like super often, but I use often enough that I need to have access to them. And I like how they're in the bin because then I don't have to like push through all of the items to try to find what I need. I can just pull the bin out and grab exactly what I need without it being super disorganized. I ended up putting the remainder oatmeal that we have in one of these taller bins. I'm sure that that's going to be something that we refill. And then again, just items in there are just kind of stuck in there that I know I'm going to use here soon. On this second level, I decided to put again, things I use pretty much every day or things I want to be able to see readily. So I have pasta. I always keep that on hand for a quick and easy meal for the family or just Calla by herself. I ended up using one of the small containers for a package of lentils. Here I have oatmeal that I have and make for Calla pretty much every morning, and I can restock that as necessary. Here's the granola that I use. A package and a half easily fit in there. I have some peanut butter behind that, and these are all of my snacks. So like vegan, gluten-free soups that I heat up, bars that I have for breakfast, different things like that. So then this center shelf is about waist high. It's actually a little bit shorter than waist high. And the fact that it's super wide and open allows me to utilize the back part of it pretty easily so that I can see things still and have access to them easier, but still utilize all of that space. So I chose to put all of our storage assistants here. So things like aluminum foil, the press and seal paper, baggies, chips. I moved the chips up here, like snack-like stuff, because they used to be on the bottom row and we just weren't seeing them, and there were like multiple bags open instead of people consuming one entire bag and then opening another. So hopefully this will make it easier for people to see actually what's in there and then have it not be so messy. And then I have cereal. Having this as wide as it is also allows for me to utilize taller things like cereal boxes, which we don't typically have, but every once in a while. And then I also filled up another container with candy, so you can see what kind of candy we have in there, but not have it be flung all over like it was previously. This next shelf is my favorite just because it's exactly at Kalla's height, and so I put all of her snacks in here for her to see. And that way, if she wants a snack, she comes in here and she can easily open the door by herself now, which is crazy. But it makes it easier for me too. She's not just pointing at things she wants. She can actually grab what she wants. Right now we have so much pudding. So we have an entire container of pudding. She eats a lot of pudding. She loves these applesauce, and I put a refill container behind it. I recently got these Cliff Bars as kind of something else for her to eat, especially when she's sick and not eating very well. I got these veggie chips from Target. They're bunny spring decor shaped. I ended up using one of the smaller containers to empty out the cookie bin. The cookies in this little container were just sitting at the very bottom shelf of our pantry and never going to be seen again. So I put them in there, and she'll probably see them immediately and want them. And then there's also some extra space still, so if we add on more snacks for her, which we pretty much do all the time, there's room for it. And then in the very bottom, you guys can see it pretty well, this is where I stored all of our items that we can't store or don't have room for in our cabinet. So things like our waffle maker, our steamer, there's a quesadilla maker back there, so things we don't use like a lot but still need to be stored. We can have easy access to them down there, but they'll be out of the way. And then that's also where I store some extra bread, tortillas, stock, things that will eventually get used but are easy enough to put down there. I didn't take the tags off of the bins, kind of like these ones, because I'm not exactly sure that I'm gonna love this setup until I actually live with it for probably a week or two. I think that it's awesome right now, but you never know once you get actually into living life. You might be like, oh, I need a different sized bin, or oh, I want that bin in a different place. So all the bins that don't have food in them, like I took the tags off these, but these ones that don't have any open food in them, I've left the tags on just in case. That way, in case we do need to exchange or return or move things around, it won't be a waste. So that is it for today's video. It was overall pretty simple. I really enjoyed going through and making one of our everyday spaces a lot easier to access. That way it will save us a lot of time and frustration every single day. If you guys have a smaller pantry or a larger pantry, you can use some of these same techniques to organize your own pantry as well. Let me know if you guys have any extra tips that you would share for any kitchen organization, specifically your pantry, down below in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and you're excited to see more organizational videos. If you haven't hit subscribe, be sure to hit subscribe before you guys leave so that we can have you as a regular subscriber of the Sykes Fam channel. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.